So how's it going? How was your week?
Um, the week was great. The weekend was even better.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. Should we quickly just recap? We didn't have
Why
that
not?
halftime show. Let's talk about that. 2-0. How did
Two
you guys
zero.
celebrate the two goals? Especially the
So
second one, I would say.
I would say the first half was a disaster. We were completely sad. We even did some interviews at halftime. We had some Marseille fan with watching the games with us, so it was quite interesting to understand their perspective. Um, of course, we were not happy with the red card. Um, he was happy with the red card when let's say the Marseille fan was of course happy with the red card. However, the one few things were said and especially said um, mentally, is Marseille capable of winning 11 men? Some people will say 12 men against 10, or 13 if you add the crowd. And it was the second half was completely nuts. We lost it completely. First goal, second goal, we completely lost it. I think now it's part of the legacy, the Vitinha celebration,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and also the Draxler 2.0,
yeah,
Gonzalo Ramos and Hakimi.
yeah.
It's part of the legacy now. So very happy. What about you?
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. It was a really nice match. And I was hearing like Marseille fans talking after the match. And it's funny because before the match, it was like, yeah, you guys would definitely win, and we're bad. Like it's like no, you can't even compare. Like Paris Saint-Germain are like owning the league and all those things. And then after the loss, they're disappointed by not winning. And it's like I didn't get that. It's like first you tell us we're much better, and then we win, and then you tell us like you're disappointed. Disappointed by what? So it's like,
I know, poor performance.
yeah, it's amazing. But like, yeah, they were expecting that. Anyhow, today the Cup, Coupe de France against Rennes. Already Lyon is in the final. That's interesting. Whoever meets Lyon in the final, it's going to be a nice final. I think it's exciting. It's nice to have at least a team that could challenge a bit, even though they're not doing their best. But they're still Lyon. On paper, it sounds like a good challenge. So let's not jump too far ahead. Rennes today. Nice match. I think it's going to be an exciting match, but I think it's also something Luis Enrique is going to take very seriously. It's one of those like matches where it's only you have two more matches that you could win at least a trophy. And I think personally for him, he would love to win it, and for the club, it would be a fantastic thing to re-win the trophy that Paris Saint-Germain is known to win. Even like before the QSE time, it was something that Paris Saint-Germain always were trying to chase.
I agree. I think the simplest way to say it is we're just one game away to the final, and it's today.
A
Um, right?
couple of minutes.
So we'll know more in 120 minutes, perhaps. But yeah, you're right. I think given the starting 11, we know that he's taking the cup very seriously. Whoever is in front of us, and we know it's Ren, and Ren is sometimes it's difficult to play with, and we have to give some respect to the new coach. Pep Genesio did a fantastic job, but the new one, he's killing it, and we're struggling against Ren. Let's be honest. Or we've been struggling, so hopefully today will be a different ball game. But yeah, I'm happy to see the starting 11. We can talk about the starting 11 if you want to, but I'm excited with the level of trust Lucio is putting into this competition for another trophy, the second of the year could be, um, and and then keeping the almost the superstars in as well, which is great.
Yeah, and we're seeing like let's see the like you said the starting 11, and we could see that Marquinhos is back carrying
Yeah,
the
captain.
captain. So that's always nice. to see him back, and we see Mendes back. So that's also a surprise. I think I wasn't expecting him to play him, but if he wants to play him in the Champions League, which we hope he does, he must test him out to see him. But here's the formation. I think like it's going to be exciting to see how they play.
Well, based on the previous game, so Lee Kang-in is in the starting 11, which he was, a super sub on Sunday.
Mm.
Nuno Mendes is back in the rotation. I think it makes sense. I was hoping to see him on Sunday, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
as opposed to Lucas being on a wing.
Yeah.
But Lucas and Marquis being, the central backs, which I much prefer than Danilo, especially recently. I'm not. No offense to Danilo, he's a soldier, but I was not necessarily convinced with his performances recently.
Well,
And
don't you agree? Or
yeah, I agree.
Mm.
I agree.
Like I mean, like he's not the best central back in the world, but for him, at least he always gives 100%. Like he does everything he can.
I would say he's the best central back of all the midfielders.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. He's better
And
than me as a right back.
correct. And Hakimi, some people were start like shooting at him prior to the game against Marseille, but I think he delivered against Marseille.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the first half was kind of shy, but yeah, all players were kind of shy. Plus, the red card was not necessarily welcome at that moment. But Hakimi, he's again one game away from a trophy.
Mm.
And then Ruiz is back after Marseille.
Mm.
Vitinha, well, the X factor.
Yeah.
And Warren, I don't know, Yaor Chichi, great for him to play. And then I have huge expectation for Kylian and Usman today,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
huge expectation.
Mm.
Well, Dembus did an assist on Sunday, that's so great. But Kylian, with all the communication recently and the attitude and the yes or no insult when he was subbed off. I don't want to play that game, but I have huge expectation because he's been too quiet for the past couple of games, and this one matters
Yeah.
to access the final.
Exactly. And building up for the big quarterfinal match in the Champions League as well. Like you need you need to have performance to kind of be able to deliver. And but you know what I'm liking with Luis Enrique and the way we're playing is like when you see a player not performing, it doesn't matter who it is, he's being subbed off. And I'm not talking about only Mbappe. But we're talking about like Zaire Emery or Vitinha or Lee Kang-in, any player, even in defense, players are being moved around, players are being subbed. And even if they're playing good, but he sees a tactical change that needs to be done, he's doing the change. And I think that's like really something we haven't been seeing in maybe since Tuchel. I don't know.
No, I totally agree. I think he's in charge. Period.
Mm.
Right? He makes the decisions. He makes the calls. He's the one.
So yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
Marie there.
yeah.
And Ashraful. Page
Hello.
725. Sounds like prisoner numbers.
I lost my mobile 2 days ago,
Oh, wow.
so my Gmail and everything is gone. So
That sucks.
this number will show up.
That's okay. Life goes on, my friend. As long as we win today, it's at least a bit better. You feel a bit better until tomorrow, and then you start worrying again about the mobile. So we have to keep
Yeah.
winning. Ashraful happy these days.
Yes.
Marie, you got home finally from your metro action,
Metro nightmare. Yeah,
metro nightmare in
Paris
Paris.
night.
They were Rennes fans. They didn't want me to get home.
With a Marseille driver.
Yeah, every station they were like, "Oh, we're gonna stop for regulation," and I heard, "Oh, we're gonna stop so that Paris misses the pre-match." I was like, "No!"
So yeah, that's what happens when the Marseille fan drives a metro. You're stuck at seventh position. So yeah, so there we saw the starting 11. I think where do you see the strong point in this formation, Marie? Where's the win coming from? A good defense, a solid midfield, Mbappe scoring like he does in Coupe de France, at least a goal in every round.
I think the strength comes from the fact that we can kind of adapt this into anything. We can move Zaire Emery a little bit back. We can move Hakimi a little bit forward. The front three can be whatever we want. We can have basically just Mbappe in front and the two others back. So I think our strengths will be whatever they do, we can melt into it and respond without making any changes because we have such an adaptable team, I feel.
Not a bad bench though as well.
Of
So
course.
we have good bench as well. Asensio is there on the bench. I would love to see him play as well. Ramos, Colomani, those are like big names, I would say, coming off the bench if we need them. What do you think, Ashraful?
Uh, yeah, that's a good bench, I think, but we should start Colomoni or Ramos on starting lineup. So we could have a perfect number 9 on the field. Uh, in today's formation, there is no number 9 front to Mbappe and Dembele, I think, and Kangli slide down the number 10. Yeah, that's a good formation, but Vitina in defensive mid, I am little bit surprised. I I I would play him in number 10 position. Kangli is good, but Manuel Ugarte or Zaire Emery should have take the defensive mid position, and Vitina, I think he should play much upper, so
Yeah.
he can provide more balls.
Olivier, Vitinha, is he number 6, number 8, number 10, or is he good everywhere?
Is
Number
good
one.
except goalkeeper. I would say I would play him everywhere.
Alla Danilo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, for me it's the X factor. I think what I think in previous podcast is, since unfortunately and sadly Messi and Neymar are gone, he can express himself on the pitch. He took that dimension of a player that he was already, but probably too shy or less exposed because of Neymar and Messi coming back and get the ball in his area. So not necessarily to be able to expose his capacity of playing or moving the ball towards or forward. So I'm very, very surprised and extremely very surprised and very happy. I think it deserves a new jersey with a
Don't say.
Vitinha jersey pressed.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I thought you were going to say Vitinha deserves another number and maybe take the number 6 of Verratti, and I was a bit scared that you say that.
No,
And that's a jinx, I think, when people start thinking those things. But actually, what you're saying is really something I thought about when he scored the goal on Sunday. Because like last seasons, we saw also the amazing Vitinha with his dribbling and getting out of like really tight situations. But you see, he always was looking for either Neymar or Messi to pass to, and he would never have just passed like gone past the players himself. It was always like you feel he had to play that passes. Either he was pressured by Galtier or he was like feeling like, oh no, shit, it's Messi there, I have to pass it to him. And always like the pass never came back. Versus like right now with Dembele, when he went past a couple of players, played it to Dembele, Dembele played it back. It's nice teamwork, like Marie is saying. In addition to that, they could play anywhere. It's this whole group thing. Even Mbappe, you see him playing very like team football. I don't know if it's the captaincy makes him feel a bit more down to earth and think, okay, now you're the captain. Show us what the captain should do. Marie,
But I think last year also, I think Vitinha tried to play like Verratti. And there are only very few players who can do like Verratti and have like shit stats and still be a great football player. Verratti would never like make good assists or even shoot on goal, but he would be the best player on the pitch. And I think Vitinha tried to do this, like just be this kind of magic midfielder who has like bad stats, but it wasn't him. And I think once he tried to be like, okay, I'm just gonna be a part of the game and stop this mystic Verratti bullshit which no one understands, he did better because I think only Verratti and Zidane can play like this.
I
No,
think fans also started understanding that we should stop thinking about replacing names like the Thiago Motta effect and now Verratti effect, and definitely we should never think Neymar, like how to replace Neymar, because it's like it's no point. It's really no point. It's like it doesn't make sense.
Who's Neymar?
Yeah, exactly. The sheikh in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the sub.
The sub. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. But at least let's forget last season. We're here. We're going towards the final. We have two finals and the league to win this season. Why not the treble? We're working on it. We have a fantastic coach on the helm and really good players. I really like the players, and I think next season we're even going to be better and better because we're going to grow more as a team. And yeah, your what you call it? What do you think the score is going to be, Ashraful?
Hmm?
The score, final score.
I'll go for 2-0.
Olivier?
Listen, based on what I said earlier, on the road to the 20th Coupe de France of PSG history, and knowing we're playing Rennes, I'll go with 1-0.
Okay.
Tight game.
Okay. Okay. Marie?
I think pas content, triplé.
Triplé.
4-0, 3 goals from Mbappé.
Hat-trick for Mbappé.
Pas content, triplé.
3-0. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think this match is super difficult to predict.
Be careful,
Yeah,
Mary.
it's a cup
Be
match.
careful, Mary. There is a trademark on pas content triplé. You'll be in very big trouble.
Yeah, I already have a phone
You'll
call
be sued.
from my mother.
For a lot. Is there really a trademark on it?
No.
No, okay.
Just kidding.
Well, I thought like you're serious.
No.
The way you're dressed and everything, and then you said it sounded like it. I'm like, oh shit, he knows something.
No.
Yeah. It's yeah. I think 2-0. I think 2-0. I agree with. But we all agree on a clean sheet, even though like we have Marquinhos coming back from an injury, and Mendes who hasn't played a couple of matches. What do you guys think there? First, let's think, will it ever go to penalties? Put it that way.
Did you see the Rennes starting 11?
Yeah.
They came to Parc des Princes to not necessarily attack, but to defend.
Defend, exactly.
Right? With the exception of Kalimuendo, sorry, as a striker. And please don't do it to us, okay?
Yeah.
You used to be one of us, so don't do it to us.
Yeah.
But
They
with the exception,
always do it. All our
exactly. So with the exception of him, I don't know. It sounds like very, very defensive to me.
Do goals count double if we score them against Mandanda?
They should.
It's like an extension from Sunday.
We already have 2 goals, guys.
At least it feels nice. So yeah.
So Donnarumma is on such a roll. I mean, once we should trust our defense players because they're good.
I agree.
The coach trusts them, so we should trust them. And we should definitely trust Donnarumma because he is the best goalkeeper on his line. And if he doesn't do any like dangerous passes,
which he's getting better at, I would say. We have to give him credit as well. Like
He's gotten a lot
he's
better.
still not the best, but he's getting better there.
So I think we can really trust him. And if we get too much pressure, we can put Ugarte on and maybe lock down the defense a bit more. But
Yeah.
it
I
should.
would be surprised if Asensio comes in for Lee Kang-in at some point.
Yeah.
And Ramos. That wasn't a threat, by the way. That's just a
No, I think that was
just so everyone, so we're all on the same page. I got it. Maybe not everyone got it.
that's correct.
Are getting involved in this call, like by the end, what do you think? Going to jail? I'm being sued.
Sued, shot. Yeah. All right, guys. The match started already, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope at least one of us gets the result right, because we need a win. We need to be in that final.
We need bragging rights.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like Mary does.
After that metro trip. All right. Allez, bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye bye.
Alabari.